Hey there, I'm Whisper Johnson, and this is my first entry to my Invention Journal for College Comp 2. The way I define a personal digital technology is a piece of equipment that is used in your daily life to make your life easier. Oh, and it also be some kind of circuitry. Something sort of high-tech, not just like a block of wood. So something like a phone or an oxygen tank to me would count. Oh yeah, and speaking of phones, I use mine almost every day of my life. I mean, not during lessons, because I would never do that, unless the teacher specifically told me to. But yeah, I can use it in a multitude of ways, like reading, checking the time, ignoring group chats, or just catfishing strangers and random chat rooms online. But yeah, as soon as I get out of school, my mind runs wild. So I constantly have to have my phone out. I have to have some sort of stream of information going into my mind. I don't use my phone in educational ways most of the time. It's mainly useless information that I can put in my mind and use later. For example, I have a few ways to escape and enter North Korea. Oh, and I feel like most of America feels this way in regards to their technology. For example, as time goes on, we see less and less people going to a library. Why is that? Well, we have a little library right here with as much information as we want. If we have a simple question about when was a certain person born, when did they die, something in between those categories, and many more categories, a simple "Hey Google" will pull up something that we need. Oh, my phone just went off, okay. But yeah, our phones are pretty much tiny libraries at this point. Same thing with computers, and I feel as though it's up to the user to define what their technology is going to be used for. That is with computers, smartphones, even oxygen tanks, because, you know, there's other ways to use those, evidently. But other than that, I see a lot of articles that are written about how our generation constantly has their noses in their phones. Which is true, but they're making it seem as though it's a bad thing. We as humans don't have a lot of things to talk about. Even while recording this, I stop, think about my words, and then continue speaking. I have a stutter, and can't constantly have a stream of consciousness going at all times. Which is why I'm using my phone to every once in a while look up words that I am missing. Nowadays, it's mainly entertainment reasons why we use pieces of technology. Certain apps I use to access media of entertainment purposes would be like Instagram, the web, reading apps like manga stuff, and YouTube. I mean, I use Snapchat every once in a while, but I ignore everything that's on there. Sorry, group chats. I use it a lot for input. Not too much output comes... My phone went off again. But yeah, these apps are mainly used to distract myself if I have nothing else to say to the people around me. Which is a lot of the time because I have an issue with making friends with strangers, and I feel as though other people have that problem too. Speaking to a stranger in public would be kind of weird. Moving on. Now some questions that I'd have regarding the class or stuff I'm curious about. Let me think. Not too much. But because this class does center around technology, I feel as though I may struggle a little with writing about technologies. Mainly because I'm not too much of a scientifical person. I am bad at stream of consciousness, but it only takes me a few seconds to think about what I want to say. Compared to technology, that's like hours of me thinking about what I want to say. I'm more of a Animaniacs kind of person and less of a Doctor Who kind of person, you dig? But a simple way to go over that is to hear what my classmates have to say about their papers and maybe get ideas off of that, while not plagiarizing. And if I need some help, I can always email you, Steve. If I'm not too embarrassed about my topic, that is. I mean, I have some really dumb ideas. Alright, and that's the end of Invention Journal Entry 1. Hope you enjoyed, cause golly, it's gonna take me a few good minutes, maybe an hour, to edit this audio, because I stuttered so much through it. Alright, bye.